What's up, guys? So it's time to get into the real meat of the schedule here. Clemson set up extremely favorably the first three games. Um, you know, could not have asked for a better first three starts trying to get the offense together. Now it's time to get into the meat of the schedule. Two ranked opponents back to back here at Wake Forest and at NC State. A lot to unpack from the last two games in which things again weren't as easy. We were hoping to see things start to run smoothly after the Georgia Tech game. Obviously better, but not great. And look at this, guys. I just was looking through some old stuff earlier and I found my stash of old Clemson tickets. I've been to most home games since probably 2000 or between 2000, 2001, 2002 is when I really started going to a lot of them. And this one here is from Dabo's first of his 13 straight wins against Wake Forest. We had lost to Wake Forest the year before, in which got Tommy Bowden fired. 2000, looks like that was what, October 17th, 2009. Won the division that year. Probably just, I think we were playing Virginia when we won the division. But yeah, there is Dabo's first game against Wake Forest back in 2009, his first division title. Thought that was pretty cool. And this one's random, but this one I need to probably frame or something because this is the 100th Clemson South Carolina game back in 2002. I think that was the first Clemson South Carolina game I went to. They had a pretty cool, especially for back then, pretty cool ticket there. Maybe I'll start looking through these and find a pretty cool ticket from one of our good games against our opponents every week. I'm sure I've got one for about every ACC team. But moving into the game tomorrow against Wake Forest. So basically Clemson, it's make or break time here. There's no room for error the next 2 weeks. It's the two biggest contenders in the division against Wake Forest, the defending champion, and against NC State, who finished second and beat Clemson in overtime in Raleigh last year. So looking into the game tomorrow, what we learned from Furman and from Louisiana Tech? Well, the main thing we learned was he's not perfect, but he's better than last year. I mean, that's 100% without a doubt fact. We also learned that the receivers are a bigger problem than DJ right now. We've got people who just need to break out. We've got people who just need to break out and play up to their potential. If we can just get the receivers on board, I think we'll be fine. And also, for whatever reason, Clemson is not throwing the ball over the middle right now. We need to throw the ball over the middle and on the outsides, open things up a little bit. Running backs, I think the running game has been better the last 2 weeks. Obviously, we aren't playing good teams, but Wake Forest doesn't have a good defensive line at all. Clemson should be able to eat again just like we did last year in the trenches. Will Shipley absolutely went off against Wake Forest last year. We should be able to run for at least 200 yards. I mean, we should. The offensive line's still going to have to come up, play big boy football. And then as far as the passing game, hopefully, again, we should be able to, this should be a coming out party for DJ. He should be able to eat against this Wake Forest secondary. We saw what other teams have done to him this year. We saw what Liberty did to him last week, just about beat him. So all in all, the Clemson offense should absolutely roll. We should score 40 points tomorrow. Will he? I don't know. The problem actually is on the defensive end, kind of the opposite of what will be against NC State. It's on the defensive end tomorrow because we're still thin at corner. We've got a couple guys out tomorrow. That's going to be tough to overcome. We were extremely injured last week against Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech scored 2 trash time touchdowns against Clemson, against our third and fourth string, but still our secondary got shredded most of the night. And it didn't play great against Furman either. The slip screen absolutely decimated us. I was happy to see that we learned how to cover the slip screen last week, but they were able to, Louisiana Tech and their quarterback were able to just tear us apart, especially in the second half. And we were missing 6 of our 11 starters on defense. Defensive line was mostly injured. We're supposed to get back a good bit of guys this week. So that should be good. And really, if you look at the game last year, and really almost every year that Clemson's played Wake Forest the last few years, the key is going to be the defensive line. The key is going to be the defensive line because we're going to have to really do what we did last year. I think we just absolutely stuffed Hartman last year. You know, the defensive line was in his face all game. If you look at his stats, not only this year, but last year, when he is pressured, his stats are abysmal. Abysmal. I mean, terrible. So that's going to be the key tomorrow. If he has time, if our defensive line does not go off tomorrow, if our defensive line does not play the way they should tomorrow, Clemson could be in trouble. And I mean a lot of trouble, because if Hartman has time to get the ball deep, they could really expose our secondary and put up some yards and put up some points. So while we're still injured, we're not completely healthy, but getting back a lot of defensive players tomorrow, man, we've just got to get a lot of pressure and get to Hartman. Clemson, obviously we all want to win big tomorrow, but zero room for a loss right here, especially with NC State coming next week in what should be a massive showdown in the Valley. I'm confident, but I'm not as confident as I have been in years past, because I'm just a little bit worried about the secondary and some other aspects. So we'll see. It's going to be either a scary day or a day where we're feeling great and we run through Wake Forest. It's hard to tell. It's weird. It's just a weird feeling coming into this game, because we haven't been tested. We haven't played an even decent team yet this year, so we really don't know what to expect. There's a lot of experts that are predicting close games. The line was 7 last time I looked. I don't know if it's moved since then. So really, it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. I hope that we get in there tomorrow and we get back to playing Clemson football and just absolutely roll and get back into that solid top 4 status. But we'll have to see. If I had to give a prediction right now, if things go the way that I hope they should, I'm going to say Clemson 41, Wake Forest 17. So we'll see. That would be kind of similar to last year. And I'm sorry, my pit bull is deciding to run around the couch like crazy right now. She's excited for the game tomorrow. So we'll see. Go Tigers. I'll make a video after the game. Hopefully a good video. Hopefully not a rant. We'll see. Let's get it.